I like that the Raiders spent money. I like that they went out and they overspent for a center, but I got to have the first line of defense for my quarterback. I got to start with my center, who is a high-end center. I like that, and then they kind of filled in with maybe players that we're not too familiar with, but they will serve a purpose there. The Raiders spent money. Did they spend it wisely?
So they overspent on Tyler Linderbaum, but I think it was actually a good overspend. Here's the way I look at it. Like, I think center is probably a more important position than guard, and especially in that offense. So, like, Trey Smith and Tyler Smith are at the top of the guard market right now, right around 24 million. So, like, let's say the value for Tyler Linderbaum was 23 or 24 million. Would you rather just spend the 3 million extra and get the player than risk losing him to the Commanders or the Browns or whoever was in it if you're the Raiders? Like, 3 million isn't that much in the grand scheme of things. And if you've got to overpay because you haven't been winning, then go ahead and do it, right? And what you get, to me, when you look at this is a guy who's a great scheme fit. He's a smaller guy for the position, but that doesn't matter as much in the Kubiak offense. He's athletic, he can pull. So all of that's in place. And then in that offense, they put a lot mentally on the center, right? The center is a huge part of the pre-snap operation when it comes to setting protections and all of that stuff. That takes stuff off the plate of the quarterback. So that's going to take stuff off the plate of Fernando Mendoza. So by investing in Linderbaum, I think you're investing in Mendoza. So that's why I like
Yeah.
that move. I think it's a scheme fit and it helps you with your young quarterback. And then, as far as the other things they did, I think they took advantage of a depressed market for off-ball linebackers and going and getting Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean. They're taking a flyer on a former first-round pick in Kwity Paye. They're bringing back Eric Stokes, who I think flashed again as a former first-rounder at corner. I think, when you get past Linderbaum, I think you see a lot of sensible mid-level moves. They're not at the top of the market, but I think they're moves that could make them better, in the short term and the long term. So I like where the Raiders spent their money yesterday.